The Law of Money, 19 Timeless Principles to Master Wealth. Introduction. The nature of wealth, what money truly is. The mindset of abundance versus scarcity. How wealth aligns with biblical, metaphysical, and practical laws. The nature of wealth, what money truly is. Money is one of the most misunderstood forces in human life. Some see it as the root of all evil, while others worship it as the ultimate measure of success. But what is money really? To master wealth, we must first define its true nature. 1. Money is a symbol, not the source. Money is not wealth itself. It is a representation of value. It is a tool of exchange, an agreed-upon medium that allows people to trade goods, services, and labor efficiently. The real source of wealth is value, what you create, contribute, and offer to the world. Biblical perspective. Money is neutral. It is the love of money that is the root of all evil. 1 Timothy 6 verse 10. True wealth comes from wisdom and understanding. Proverbs 3 verses 13 to 16. Metaphysical insight. Money responds to consciousness. A person with a prosperity mindset attracts money effortlessly, while a scarcity-minded person repels it. Practical view. Financial success depends on how well you create, manage, and multiply value. 2. Money follows laws, not luck. Many believe that financial success is about luck, but the truth is that money follows universal principles, the laws of exchange, growth, and stewardship. The law of exchange. You receive money in proportion to the value you give. The law of growth. Money must be multiplied through wise investments. The law of stewardship. Wealth is sustained by discipline, wisdom, and responsibility. 3. Money amplifies who you already are. Money is an amplifier. It magnifies your inner state. If you are generous, more money will make you more giving. If you are greedy, more money will deepen that greed. Biblical truth. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 16 verse 10. Metaphysical principle. Your inner world determines your financial outer world. 4. Money is energy, circulation, and flow. Money, like water, must flow. Hoarding leads to stagnation, while wise circulation creates abundance. The principle of circulation. Money must move, invested, given, exchanged, to grow. The law of reciprocity. Giving and receiving are interconnected. Luke 6 verse 38. Conclusion. To master money, you must master value, consciousness, and stewardship. Money is not an enemy nor a god. It is a servant that follows the principles of those who understand its true nature. The mindset of abundance versus scarcity. The way you think about wealth determines how money flows into your life. There are two dominant mindsets when it comes to money: abundance and scarcity. These mindsets shape your financial reality more than external circumstances ever could. 1. The scarcity mindset, the root of financial struggle. A scarcity mindset is rooted in fear, lack, and limitation. It is the belief that money is hard to get, there's never enough, and wealth is reserved for a select few. Signs of a scarcity mindset. Believing that money is inherently evil or corrupt. Thinking wealth is a zero-sum game. If someone wins, someone else loses. Feeling guilt or shame about wanting financial success. Hoarding money due to fear of loss. Avoiding investments or risks out of fear of failure. Focusing on cutting costs rather than expanding income. Biblical truth. The Israelites in the wilderness had a scarcity mindset. Despite God providing manna daily, they doubted and hoarded it, which led to decay. Exodus 16 verses 19 to 20. Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes, demonstrating abundance rather than limitation. Matthew 14 verses 13 to 21. Metaphysical principle. Your dominant thoughts create your reality. A belief in lack attracts more lack. Practical impact. Scarcity thinkers stay stuck in survival mode. They work hard but never get ahead because their beliefs block financial expansion. 2. The abundance mindset, the key to financial mastery. An abundance mindset sees wealth as unlimited, opportunities as infinite, and money as a tool for good. It understands that money flows where value is created. Signs of an abundance mindset. Viewing money as a resource that can be multiplied. Seeing opportunities everywhere instead of focusing on obstacles. Believing that generosity expands wealth. Investing in yourself and your growth. Being willing to take calculated risks for greater rewards. thinking in terms of value creation instead of mere survival. Biblical truth. God gives the power to create wealth. Deuteronomy 8 verse 18. Meaning abundance is a co-creative process. The parable of the talents. Matthew 25 verses 14 to 30. Rewards those who multiply what they are given. Metaphysical principle. Like attracts like. Thinking abundance attracts more wealth and opportunities. Practical impact. Abundance thinkers innovate, create, and invest in their growth, leading to exponential financial success. 3. Shifting from scarcity to abundance. If you recognize scarcity patterns in yourself, don't worry, it can be transformed. Steps to shift your money mindset. Reprogram your beliefs. Replace negative financial beliefs with affirmations of abundance. Practice gratitude. Focus on what you have rather than what you lack. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 18. Develop a wealth vision. Set clear financial goals and see yourself as already prosperous. Give freely. Tithing, charity, and generosity unlock financial flow. Luke 6 verse 38. Invest in growth. Learn new skills, build assets, and create multiple income streams. Conclusion. Your mindset determines your financial destiny. Scarcity leads to fear and stagnation, while abundance leads to creativity and prosperity. To master wealth, embrace an abundance consciousness, knowing that money is unlimited, opportunities are everywhere, and success is a natural byproduct of the right mindset. How wealth aligns with biblical, metaphysical, and practical laws. Wealth is not random, nor is it reserved for the select few. It follows laws. These laws govern the creation, multiplication, and management of money. When understood and applied, they bring prosperity in alignment with both spiritual and practical principles. 1. The biblical laws of wealth. The Bible provides a framework for financial success rooted in divine wisdom. Wealth is not condemned, but mismanagement and greed are. Scripture reveals key principles for financial prosperity. A. The law of divine provision. God is the source of all abundance. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to create wealth. Deuteronomy 8 verse 18. Wealth is a result of faithfulness, stewardship, and wisdom. B. The law of giving and receiving. Giving unlocks abundance. Give, and it shall be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Luke 6 verse 38. The principle of tithing, Malachi 3 verse 10, ensures that money flows through us rather than stagnating. C. The law of diligence and multiplication. The parable of the talents, Matthew 25 verses 14 to 30, teaches that money must be used wisely and multiplied. Proverbs 10 verse 4. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. 2. The metaphysical laws of wealth. Beyond the physical world, wealth follows universal principles of thought, energy, and manifestation. A. The law of thought and wealth consciousness. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23 verse 7. Wealth begins in the mind. A person who sees themselves as wealthy, regardless of current circumstances, attracts financial opportunities. B. The law of vibration and attraction. Wealth operates at a frequency. Those who think abundance attract it, while those who think lack repel it. Metaphysical truth. What you focus on expands. C. The law of circulation. Money is energy and must flow to grow. Hoarding stops circulation, while wise investing and giving increase abundance. Example. Nature operates on cycles. Water, oxygen, and even seeds circulate to sustain life. Money follows the same principle. 3. The practical laws of wealth. Without practical application, spiritual and metaphysical knowledge remains ineffective. Wealth is built through principles of management, investment, and strategic action. A. The law of value creation. Money flows where value is provided. The more value you create for others, the more wealth you attract. Business and career. Increase income by increasing your ability to solve problems. B. The law of financial management. Wealth is earned, grown, and protected. Without financial discipline, even great wealth can disappear. Proverbs 21 verse 20. Key practices. Save at least 10% of earnings. Invest in assets, not liabilities. Avoid unnecessary debt. C. The law of compounding growth. Money grows exponentially when reinvested wisely. The plans of the diligent lead to profit. Proverbs 21 verse 5. Examples: investing in stocks, businesses, or real estate. Building multiple streams of income. Conclusion: wealth is a harmonious balance between biblical principles, metaphysical understanding, and practical action. Faith sets the foundation, mindset determines attraction, and action leads to manifestation. Part 1. The spiritual and metaphysical foundations of wealth. True wealth begins in the unseen realms. Spiritual laws govern prosperity, and our consciousness shapes financial reality. Before wealth manifests in the material world, it first takes root in the mind and spirit. This section explores the divine and metaphysical principles that form the foundation of lasting financial success. 1. The law of divine provision. God as the ultimate source of wealth. Wealth is not merely the result of hard work, it is a divine trust. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to create wealth. Deuteronomy 8 verse 18. Metaphysical principle. Prosperity flows from alignment with divine purpose. 2. The law of thought. Your mind creates your wealth. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23 verse 7. Wealth is a mindset first. Poverty consciousness leads to lack, while wealth consciousness attracts abundance. Metaphysical principle. The law of mental causation. Thoughts shape external reality. 3. The law of faith and expectation. Believe and receive. According to your faith, let it be done to you. Matthew 9 verse 29. Those who expect lack experience lack, while those who expect abundance open the door to wealth. Metaphysical principle. The law of assumption. What you assume to be true manifests in your life. 4. The law of gratitude. Gratitude unlocks financial flow. In everything give thanks. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 18. Gratitude shifts focus from scarcity to abundance, multiplying financial blessings. Metaphysical principle. Gratitude raises your frequency, attracting wealth. 5. The law of giving and receiving, the wealth cycle. Give, and it will be given to you. Luke 6 verse 38. Money is energy. When hoarded, it stagnates. When circulated wisely, it expands. Metaphysical principle. The law of reciprocity. Giving creates a vacuum that attracts more wealth. Conclusion. The foundation of wealth is spiritual and mental before it becomes financial. Aligning with divine laws, mastering your mindset, and understanding the flow of energy sets the stage for unlimited prosperity. Part 2. The mental and psychological laws of wealth. Wealth is not just about external strategies. It is deeply rooted in mental programming and psychological mastery. The way you think about money, success, and yourself determines how much wealth you attract and retain. This section explores the key mental and psychological laws that govern financial success. 6. The law of vision and definite purpose. Wealth requires a clear goal. Write the vision and make it plain. Habakkuk 2 verse 2. Without a clear vision for financial success, wealth remains elusive. Psychological principle. The reticular activating system, RAS, filters opportunities based on your goals. 7. The law of self-worth and value. Money flows to those who know their worth. You will never earn more than your subconscious believes you deserve. Biblical truth. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139 verse 14. Psychological principle. Self-image determines financial ceiling. 8. The law of wealth consciousness. Shift from scarcity to abundance. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12 verse 2. Wealth requires a shift from fear and lack to prosperity consciousness. Psychological principle. Neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires based on repeated thought patterns. 9. The law of persistence and endurance. Success requires relentless action. The plans of the diligent lead to profit. Proverbs 21 verse 5. The wealthy persist through challenges while the average give up. Psychological principle. Grit. Mental toughness is a greater predictor of success than IQ. 10. The law of associations. Your environment shapes your wealth. Walk with the wise and become wise. Proverbs 13 verse 20. The people around you influence your financial destiny. Psychological principle. The rule of 5. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Conclusion. Wealth begins in the mind. Your vision, self-worth, mindset, persistence, and environment shape your financial reality. Before money appears in your bank account, it must first exist in your consciousness. Part 3. The Practical and Strategic Laws of Wealth. While spiritual and psychological principles lay the foundation for wealth, practical strategies and disciplined action determine how wealth is earned, multiplied, and sustained. This section covers the key financial laws that lead to lasting prosperity. 11. The Law of Earning. Increase income through skills and service. Money follows value. The more problems you solve, the more you earn. Biblical truth. The worker deserves his wages. 1 Timothy 5 verse 18. Practical principle. Develop high-income skills and multiple income streams. 12. The Law of Investing. Make money work for you. Wealth is not about how much you earn, but how well you invest. Biblical truth. The Parable of the Talents. Matthew 25 verses 14 to 30. Teaches that money must be multiplied, not buried. Practical principle. Invest in assets, stocks, real estate, businesses that generate passive income. 13. The Law of Ownership. Build assets, not just paychecks. True wealth comes from owning assets, not just working for money. Biblical truth. Houses and wealth are inherited from parents. Proverbs 19 verse 14. Practical principle. Own businesses, intellectual property, or real estate. 14. The Law of Leverage. Multiply resources through systems and people. Wealth grows exponentially when you use leverage, other people's time, money, and knowledge. Biblical truth. Joseph leveraged Egypt's resources to create a food surplus. Genesis 41 verses 33 to 36. Practical principle. Use automation, delegation, and partnerships to scale income. 15. The Law of Financial Discipline. Spend, save, and manage wisely. Without discipline, even great wealth disappears. Biblical truth. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. Proverbs 21 verse 20. Practical principle. Budgeting, saving 10 to 20% of income, and eliminating unnecessary debt. 16. The Law of Opportunity. Recognize and seize financial openings. Wealth is created by spotting and acting on opportunities before others. Biblical truth. Make the most of every opportunity. Ephesians 5 verse 16. Practical principle. Study market trends and position yourself ahead of shifts. 17. The Law of Economic Cycles. Understand prosperity and recession patterns. Money moves in cycles. Knowing when to invest, save, or expand is key. Biblical truth. There is a time for everything, a time to plant, and a time to uproot. Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1 to 2. Practical principle. Recession-proof wealth by diversifying income and building reserves. Conclusion. Wealth is earned, multiplied, and preserved through strategic action. Skill building, investing, ownership, leverage, discipline, and opportunity recognition create financial independence. Part 4. The Eternal Perspective on Wealth. Wealth is not just a temporary resource. It is a tool with eternal implications. Money itself is neither good nor evil, but how we use it reflects our spiritual maturity, purpose, and legacy. True financial mastery requires seeing wealth through the lens of eternity, ensuring that it serves a higher purpose beyond personal gain. 18. The Law of Stewardship. Wealth is a trust, not an ownership. We are managers, not ultimate owners of wealth. Everything belongs to God. Biblical truth. The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it. Psalm 24 verse 1. Eternal principle. True wealth is measured by how well we steward what we've been given. 19. The Law of Eternal Investment. Use wealth for kingdom impact. Money can serve eternal purposes, helping others, spreading truth, and leaving a legacy of wisdom. Biblical truth. Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Matthew 6 verse 20. Eternal principle. Wealth should not only serve personal needs, but also expand truth, wisdom, and goodness in the world. The true legacy of wealth. Wisdom over riches. Money without wisdom is fleeting. Wisdom creates lasting wealth. A good name is more desirable than great riches. Proverbs 22 verse 1. Impact over possessions. What you build in others outlives material wealth. Let the rich not boast in their riches, but in knowing me. Jeremiah 9 verses 23 to 24. Eternal purpose over temporary comfort. True wealth is not just about how much you accumulate, but how much good you create. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world, but lose his soul? Mark 8 verse 36. Conclusion. Money is a tool, not a god. The ultimate wealth is wisdom, purpose, and eternal impact. Mastering money means using it with vision, discipline, and divine purpose, ensuring it leaves a mark far beyond this life. Conclusion. The path to true wealth. Wealth is a powerful force, but it is only truly mastered when aligned with spiritual wisdom, mental clarity, and practical strategy. Throughout this journey, we've explored the biblical, metaphysical, and practical laws that govern prosperity. Each of these perspectives provides a unique lens through which we can understand and cultivate wealth, not just for personal gain, but as a force for good, growth, and service to others. 1. Spiritual foundations. Wealth as a divine gift. Wealth is a divine trust, a tool meant to align us with a higher purpose. By recognizing God as the source and honoring the spiritual laws of abundance, we position ourselves to receive and multiply wealth in a way that aligns with divine will. Our actions must be rooted in faith, gratitude, and giving, recognizing that true wealth is not in material accumulation, but in the spiritual richness of our lives. 2. Mental and psychological mastery, shifting our beliefs. The mind is the gateway to wealth. To attract abundance, we must cultivate a wealth consciousness, a mindset of abundance, self-worth, and persistence. Understanding that thoughts shape reality, we are empowered to transform limiting beliefs into expansive ones, ensuring that our actions align with our vision of success. The law of vision teaches that we must have a clear goal, while the law of self-worth ensures that we value ourselves as worthy of prosperity. 3. Practical strategies, taking action. Spiritual alignment and mental mastery lay the foundation, but practical action drives wealth forward. Wealth is created through value creation, smart investing, financial discipline, and leveraging opportunities. We must focus on creating assets, multiplying our resources through strategic planning, and embracing the cyclical nature of economic opportunities. The application of these practical laws ensures that our wealth is sustainable, responsible, and multiplied over time. 4. The eternal perspective, wealth beyond this life. True wealth is not just for the present moment. It is meant to have eternal significance. How we steward our resources, use them to serve others, and invest in the advancement of good and truth will ultimately define our legacy. Stewardship is a central tenet, reminding us that wealth is a temporary tool meant to advance divine and eternal purposes. Final reflection. True wealth is holistic. Mastering wealth is a holistic process that requires us to balance spiritual, mental, and practical aspects. The spiritual foundations give us purpose, the mental laws shape our mindset, and the practical laws guide our actions. Ultimately, true wealth is the ability to serve and uplift others, create meaningful value, and leave a lasting impact on the world. As you embark on your journey toward wealth, remember that prosperity is not just about what you accumulate, but about how well you align your inner life, your actions, and your values with the eternal laws of abundance.